A fourth stimulus check because of monkeypox? I have all the details and what you need to know right here in this video. Let's get right into it. Alright, so just when you thought that you've heard it all, something else pops up, and in this case, it happens to be monkeypox. Seriously, this is a real thing. In fact, the president was just out today making some statements about monkeypox and what we need to be aware of going forward. At the same time, COVID cases are surging across the United States and across many other countries all across the world, and at the same time, mask recommendations are once again back in the headlines. There's a lot going on right now, and there's a lot to talk about right here in this video, along with all of the other aspects that are going on right now that we certainly need to pay attention to, so let's get right into it. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below the video so you don't miss any updates going forward during this very busy and weird time that we're currently living through. I'm doing all the research, breaking it all down into these short videos. As your one and only daily advocate, I truly want to help you out in any way that I possibly can by keeping you updated and pointing out any types of money, benefits, programs, checks, stimulus, and anything else you can possibly take advantage of right here, right now, as these things are popping up. As I've always said before, there are many things going on right now, and I want to make sure that you're grabbing your fair share of the pie. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get right into this update. All right, so yes, in fact, the president was out earlier today. Now, to be fair, he is still over in Japan right now, so the time difference is very significant, but it was technically today that the president was out talking about monkeypox shortly before he jumped on a plane and then flew again. But yes, he actually did talk about monkeypox. Now, he did say this is something that everybody needs to be aware of. Here's the thing, monkeypox are spreading all across multiple different countries, and it's even here in the United States right here, right now. In fact, there's about a dozen countries out there right now that are reporting cases of monkeypox, and there's a few states here in the United States that already have monkeypox as well. In fact, New York and Massachusetts have confirmed cases of monkeypox. Yes. I mean, seriously, like I said a minute ago, just when you thought you've heard it all, seriously, something else is popping up, right? So this is something that we need to pay attention to very closely because, as the president also indicated, it could have some pretty severe consequences going forward if this continues to spread. Now, what is the kind of the prognosis of this? Good question. We don't know yet. That is what we need to still continue waiting for out of scientists, doctors, researchers, people that are watching this very closely. But this whole monkeypox thing actually popped up about a week and a half or so ago. When I started seeing it to start hitting the headlines, it started popping up, and it is all over the headlines now. It is all over the place. I'm seeing it multiple times a day, and even the president is now talking about this. So seriously, this is something we've got to watch very, very closely. Now, a couple other things that I want to point out for you going forward that we need to watch again. As far as the doctors and the scientists and the experts are watching very closely right now, again, COVID cases are surging across multiple different states and across the entire United States. In fact, there's many states, cities, and counties out there right now that are once again throwing out the words mask recommendations. Now, to be totally fair, they are not saying mask mandates, but rather they are recommending people start wearing masks once again. In fact, they're actually anticipating they're actually anticipating right now that about a third of the population here in the United States should be wearing masks because of the massive COVID outbreaks. Seriously, again, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm simply here to tell you what is going on in the news and what is going on in the headlines so that we're all aware of what is going on. So this is what is actually happening right here, right now, across the United States and across globally as well. This is happening all across many different countries. Now, let me give you a couple other quick updates here. Now, China, as we've known, they've been in lockdown for many, many weeks now. In fact, it's been 7 weeks that China has been in lockdown. Well, some of the different cities, about 40 million people across a couple different cities, and many different people, or millions and millions of people, almost 400 million people across China as a whole have been in lockdown because of all of these COVID cases and basically the zero COVID policies in China. So that's something else that's kind of being lifted a little bit very carefully as of right now. Now, a couple other things that we need to consider going on here over the next couple months as well. The analysts and the experts, the people that watch Wall Street and the market very closely are actually saying that this is looking like a 2000 dot-com bubble, and it's popping right here, right now. So they're actually anticipating that this coming summer, we could be seeing some massive, massive meltdown situations in the stock market going forward. Now, you might be wondering, what does all this have to do with monkeypox, COVID, and a fourth stimulus check? All we care about is the money. I totally get it. Everybody cares about the money. But at the same time, you got to look at the whole picture, right? So it's just like a satellite image. You got to look at the whole picture. You can't just zoom in on one tree in the forest. You got to look at the whole forest to see what is going on here and what are some of the catalysts that are going on right now, as what is happening in the global markets, the global kind of economy, as well as the economy and the markets right here in the United States as well. So here are some of the major headwinds that we have ahead of us going forward, which could potentially issue additional checks going forward, whether it happens to be a one-time lump sum payment, ongoing monthly checks, or anything along these lines. We've got to watch all this stuff closely because remember, back in 2020, what caused the first round of stimulus checks? Was it COVID? Well, kind of. Yeah, it was COVID that ultimately shut down the economy, but it was because the economy actually was getting a major hit at the time is what actually spurred the additional stimulus checks to go out. That's what ultimately did it, right? So kind of the catalyst was COVID that closed down the economy. The economy was suffering a little bit. Therefore, they said, let's print up $1,200 stimulus checks for everybody and send them out to the people. So ultimately, that's why we got the stimulus checks, because virtually the economy was melting down. They needed something to prop it back up. Well, give out some money to the people and have them spend it. So that was kind of the idea back in 2020 when we first had this COVID thing first pop up. And then again, throughout 2020 and early 2021, as additional checks were actually distributed. So again, you got to look at the whole picture behind all this. But all of these different catalysts, all these different things that are coming up right here. COVID cases surging. Again, the doctors and people are coming forward saying we're likely going to be seeing some major cases increasing as we work our way through the summer and, of course, the fall. So there's actually many states out there right now that are posting huge surges in COVID cases that we haven't seen in many, many months across many states. A lot of the southern states are seeing a lot of big case counts right now, as well as many other things going on. So this is one aspect of it. Now, the whole big question mark behind monkeypox. Again, this is another big one out there that we don't necessarily have a whole lot of answers to quite yet. Just like back in early 2020 when COVID first hit around here, we're like, wait, what is this thing? What does it do? How do you get it? What are the symptoms? What is the cure for it? What is the diagnosis? What is the prognosis, right? There were so many different things about COVID that nobody knew anything about. Remember that? We're all kind of just in the dark about the whole thing. Well, it kind of seems the same way about this whole monkeypox thing that is also spreading around at the same time. So anyway, something else we got to watch for going forward. Next, of course, we also have to watch the economy and these calls from many of these analysts and experts saying we're probably going to see this massive market meltdown going forward over the summer months here that would look very reminiscent of the 2000 dot-com bubble when that popped many years ago, about 22 years ago or so. So these are some of the major factors going forward. And again, at any given point, any of these catalysts all coming together kind of, at the same time, essentially kind of converging all at the same time could potentially even lead to additional checks going forward. So anything could happen at this time. Again, the ball is in the court of Congress right now, as we do know that they want to pass additional packages, another reconciliation bill, and maybe they'll look at this whole current situation and say, wow, we've got a melting pot and we've got a massive dumpster fire here going on. What should we do about it, right? So who knows? Maybe Congress will actually do something about this. But these are some of the major headlines that are out there in the news right now. These are some of the major headlines that I've been coming across. And when it comes down to it, any of these could be the catalyst that actually finally triggers and actually sends out additional payments of any type for maybe the highly focused, the low income, the fixed income, anybody like this. But again, there's so much of this stuff going on right now. It is so weird that this is happening. Seriously, every day when I come in here and I do the research, I feel like, what am I going to see today? Seriously, what's going to pop up today? Out of all the different things, I mean, I can't even imagine what's going to be coming up next. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even want to guess. I cannot even guess what's going to happen next. I don't know. At the end of the day, all that I care about is that I'm bringing you the information here. I'm keeping you updated with what's going on. I'm making sure that I'm helping you out in any way that possible. And of course, that you're staying safe on a daily basis with all of this weirdness that's going on right here, right now in our real lives and in our world. So anyway, of course, I'll continue to keep you posted with anything else that's going on right now. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share this video with your friends, family, social media. And of course, go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos right here on the channel. Thanks again. I appreciate it. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later in the next update. I'll see you then.